Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to This Will Go Tarot. My name is Anne, and I am a intuitive tarot reader for the Capricorn Collective. So if you have Capricorn placements in your Sun, Moon, and Rising, Venus, North Node, there may be a message here for you today. I look at the cards, and if there's a message that resonates, by all means, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel. It helps us grow this community together. If not, then please leave the rest. I appreciate your energy. I am very grateful for those who come. And also, if you are a cross watcher, welcome. Today it is approximately 5:12 in the afternoon here on Eastern Standard Time. And we have a very important lunation tonight. It is the blood worm moon, and it is the full lunar eclipse in Virgo, approximately 23-24 degrees. So it is conjunct the south node, and for those who may have dabbled in astrology a little bit, the south node is an opportunity in our life around that which is on the way out. And especially with an eclipse, it's a great opportunity to release that which no longer serves us. So what do we have to learn from the Virgo identity, the Virgo archetype? Virgo has two sides, just like every zodiac sign does. A more of a light side and a shadow side. So the light side is, and they happen to be another fellow earth sign, so you may identify, or perhaps you have earth Virgo placements within your own chart. Let me know in the comments. But Virgos happen to be very committed to process. They offer the opportunity to be a continuous student of the divine, to always never stop mastering your craft, if you will, and to be committed to a process. So I think those are powerful things that at least I can identify with as a Capricorn. I like structure, if you're like me. Capricorns are all about our structure. We're all about security. We're constantly climbing that mountain. It doesn't change. We're if we see a goal, we're gonna go after it, right? And so being able to master our craft is a very important skill in our overall toolkit. But on the more shadow side of the Virgo identity is, or the archetype rather, is being overly committed to control, trying to control an outcome, almost a level of perfectionism, overthinking. And so if things aren't, the old saying of like, the stars must align. If one thing is off, then there's somehow a lack that has been created. And that lack is a self-limiting belief. And I think especially given the fact that this is Pisces season, and by the way, those who have mutable sign placements in the later degrees are likely going to feel the effects of this eclipse and this full moon more so than the other signs. But the mutable sign, this is a water sign, we're asked to let go and to not necessarily be so overly concerned about what the outcome will be, but rather stay committed to the here and now. And that's hard. I mentioned in some of my earlier videos about how it's so hard about not knowing what might come and giving it our all in the moment, where we just have to trust, and we have to have an inner knowing that our soul is going to provide for us. As long as we're continuing to move forward in the best of the way that we know how, to that which fulfills us, that which makes us whole, that which makes us be able to live our lives in a capacity that is our truest identity, our full authentic selves. And so that is so hard nowadays. We wear so many different hats, so many different dimensions of ourselves, and keeping it all together is so hard. So there may be a message here today, especially given the fact that we just came out of Pluto, was in our sign for how many plus years. And there were some major lessons that were learned. If you have felt that you came on the other side of that, and it was not a walk in the park by any means. But if you come out on the other side knowing what makes you happy, what makes you whole, what may be your life purpose. It could be career, it could be the identity that you wear as a provider for your family, perhaps, a partner, etc. But I do want to acknowledge that those lessons are huge, and we need to ensure that we are doing a responsible job of integrating them into ourselves. And you can't integrate those massive lessons unless you remove things to make space for it, right? So there might be also something here in today's reading about integration. As we move forward, I have taken some time to reflect and to meditate on our decks today. When I do so, I typically anchor my energy around the numerological number. So if you think about March 13th, 2025, and in numerology, if you're new to it, you reduce the numbers. So March is a 3, the 13th reduces the 1 and the 3 to a 4, and 2025 reduces to a 9. Add it all up, it's 16, makes a 7. So the 7 is associated with 2 zodiac signs. One, Pisces, which we are in. It's the spiritual side of the number 7, deeply spiritual, an inner knowing. Not a belief, but an inner knowing. And so that aspect of ourselves around a constant quest to know thyself and to continue to explore the inner workings of who we may have been and who we're about to become, that constant desire and the longing, the connection to the divine is really where the number 7 expresses itself through that spiritual dimension. The other side of it is through Libra, as the need for truth seeking, the ability to want more information, more of an analytical side, this constant quest to know more. And that piece is very important as well. So there might be some synchronicities in today's reading. I might see some number 7s pop out. I wouldn't be surprised. But the more shadow side of the number 7 could also be suspicion or maybe not necessarily always being forthcoming. The feeling that there's some need to question things that we should already know about ourselves. So there's a lot of themes here that this reading, that Spirit may be wanting to share with us today. I'm excited to hold space with you. So with that, it should be about a half hour. Enjoy yourself. I do have an old 2014 Mac, so bear with me. I am no way a video editor. So, but I will be sharing my table with you in just a moment when I bring my screen down. Take a look at the cards. I invite you to not just look at what the major and the minor arcana might come through today, but also any symbols or synchronicities that you may see in your own life. And it's a confirmation for you. So with that, I do want to just call out when the eclipse is happening. I just write this down for you if you are on Eastern Standard Time, like myself. It is occurring today. It begins right before midnight at 11:57 p.m. The totality of the actual eclipse, which is super exciting, happens at 2:26 a.m. Friday morning. So just about 2.5 hours later. The full moon hits its lunation at 2:55. And then the actual totality ends at 3:31. So like this whole event is there's a lot of energy here. Hold space for yourself in this. If you have the opportunity to meditate, and again, I get it, you know, in the middle of the night can be hard. If you have that capacity, please, by all means, do so. But if you don't, the effects of this energy for a full moon is typically 2 weeks after, or even the next day as well, is very powerfully felt. It's more potent energy. But eclipses, the overall story and the narrative that what an eclipse has to offer us typically plays out in a 6-month timeline. So conversely, when it comes to the actual full moon itself, there's always a story of when the new moon in that sign occurred 6 months prior, and it actually comes to its culmination at the full moon in the same sign, typically 6 months later. So maybe there was something 6 months ago that is coming to an end, something that you had some sort of theme in your life that had been echoing some sort of message that's coming to a conclusion that you have the ability to release and let go. And again, there's a new story creating right now with this eclipse. So with that, welcome. Let's get started. All right. I have meditated on these decks, but I do want to clear the energy with my Capricorn Collective today. Spirit angels and guides of our highest and best. What messages do you have for the Capricorn Collective around the lessons to be learned from this full moon eclipse? Only the highest and best with the clearest messages possible for my beautiful Capricorns. All right, we'll open this message with a loud bell. We have all of our signs represented at the top. Of course, we have a big showing of earth signs today. Lots of amethyst. We have some selenium for protection. We have our fire, we have our water, and we do have our air sign, which is this bell that should open our reading. All right, so with that, let's get Moonology Oracle card today. Oh, you can't make this up. Full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. I couldn't have predicted it. We have a full stack, and I did shuffle 7 times, and I did cut the deck with you just now. But this is the card that appeared. You are good enough. Can't make this up again. It's interesting because I had done the new moon, and this card also came out at the same time. So I'm getting that there might be something very powerful today associated with this full moon card. All right, let's get the message from the Oracle book. You are good enough. It is time to be really honest with yourself and understand what's led you to ask your question. Have you been humble to the point of being self-effacing? Humility is good, but it can go too far, and drawing this card suggests you might be underrating yourself. You don't have to be a flash, just quietly ascertain that you are good enough. At the other end of the scale, you need to honestly answer the question, have you been too picky? The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should be more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details. Hard work brings results. Okay? Stop second guessing ourselves. So there might be something in our current vibration here, some sort of self-limiting belief that needs to go with this eclipse. Again, some sort of need for perfectionism. The idea that we're good enough is exactly what I think that we need to take away here around that self-mastery, is that no matter how we come to the table here, whatever we bring in this lifetime, it's never going to be completely perfect. Otherwise, why would we come to this earth school? The need for control of any outcome is where we run into trouble, where all of a sudden we start having these nights. Almost, I'm getting the 9 of Swords card archetype, where she's like up at night, almost to the point of exhaustion, around overthinking things with anxious stress. And in reality, it's something that we've created in ourselves around some sort of self-limiting belief. So that's the initial reaction that I'm getting with this card in terms of the message that we need to, that's what this eclipse has to offer us. We have the ability, the unique time here to walk away from that, to let that go, and to take the other pieces of ourselves that we have learned and we have come so far. And let's just acknowledge how far we've come in these past 18 years and realize that we're exactly where we need to be in this present moment, right here, right now. There's nothing lacking. Whatever is lacking is a self-limiting belief that we've only created ourselves, and we have the choice point now to let that go. All right. Spirit, let's call in some clear messages for our Capricorn Collective. Only the highest and best. We pulled the King of Wands in recent past. We have this beautiful sunset happening here. We have the Three of Pentacles in the upright position for current energy. And we're pulling the Knight of Cups in the reversal position here for advice from the tarot or potential future outcome. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Page of Wands in reverse. This Page of Wands here. So that's curious. So Wands have been a very powerful energy lately. If you've been listening to my readings, it's representative of a fire sign. And obviously, you know, in the upright position, she's ready to release. And she's just, you know, pages of the tarot are typically the children of the tarot, that inner child, that inner knowing of just being able to take that leap of faith to move forward. And specifically when it comes to in the major arcana, it's the Fool, right, where you're just sort of letting go. In the minor arcana, taking the leap of faith as broken down and expressed by each of the individual elements, by letting go of that wand there, that Page of Wand, is more or less tapping into moving forward with whatever it is that generates some sort of that inner childlike innocence and excitement. That which sort of is that spark within us. It's just a little spark, and it could become a bonfire, but it's not there yet because we just need to explore and just to take that first step, that leap. And it's in reversal here in the overall energy reading here. And given the fact that it's juxtapositioned against this good enough card, Capricorns, are we holding back somehow? Is there something in your life that we're holding back our ability to just move forward and to say, to hell with it. I'm just going to give this a try. I've never painted something before, or if you're single and there's someone that you may be attracted to, and just saying, to hell with it, I'm just going to try. I'm just going to seek connection. And there's something that's blocking us from doing so. And it feels like it's a self-limiting belief about ourselves. We're believing we've created a construct somehow in our own minds that's preventing us from taking action. So what I think it's saying here is that, especially in the recent energy where we have this King of Wands, I don't feel that that's us. I feel like there might be maybe some sort of masculine, divine masculine energy, or there could be some sort of male in your life that represents some sort of control. This King of Wands is typically a master of his domain. He's in complete control. He's got this. He's very brave. He's, you know, we have the lion in the background here, and he's very confident. And I feel that there might be something in our recent past where someone in our life represents this archetype, not us. I'm not feeling that this is us. Some sort of hierarchy that we were not there. We had to look up. Because again, there's almost like he is on this, you know, he's looking down in a way. So perhaps we were looking up to this person, maybe a dad or some sort of male, and we'll get more information here. But I think that there's something that has to do with a male in our life that was important to us. Could be a boss. Spirit angels and guides of our highest and best. Why is the King of Wands here? What does this represent in this reading? Ooh, I got a flipper. Got the Empress in reverse. Major Arcana number 3. It's interesting. What is this King of Wands in reverse? One more card. One or two more messages here. Why is the King of Wands in reverse? Oh, actually got 2 cards. We've got the 6 of Swords sideways. And I got the 4 of Pentacles. Okay. So I'm gathering that there's something here hierarchical in nature. There's almost 2 ways, and apply this how it makes sense in your own interpretation. But if it is like a familial contact, which I'm gathering, somehow there was something was upset, where in the upright position, this Empress represents rebirth, hope. She's pregnant. She's creating something new. And that relationship, for whatever reason, was supposed to go to calmer waters. That's what the 6 of Swords was about moving on from, some sort of challenge and being divinely guided to a place that's more safe and secure, which is what this pentacle is about. But I'm sensing that there was something interrupted, like some sort of connection perhaps that we had to support. It's a message around, supporting. This might be very specific to someone, supporting like a grandfather figure or a father figure, and in doing so, we were on the cusp of maybe starting a new business, starting a family, moving on in our lives towards whatever that passion is that was meant for us. But it got interrupted, and we were sort of on that way, and we had to care for them in some capacity. And because we did so, that stability, we achieved this. We achieved some sort of stability for the family. It was very sad. There was an obligation that we had to fulfill, and that was very important to us. And someone we respected, or had an obligation to respect. This, the King of Wands commands respect in some capacity. Very brave. But again, that held us back. So there might be a very specific message here of someone who may have had to care for perhaps an aging family member, and by doing so, we felt, and maybe that was something in your 18-year journey of Pluto transiting, that we had to put a lot of ourself on hold. But we did achieve there was an outcome here that led to some sort of stability, but it was choppy. We had our lives ahead of us. We had all these plans, that creative side, that dream. Something was put on hold, and now I feel that the situation has stabilized. And now is the time where we're no longer in our teens or our 20s or our 30s, whatever that is. And maybe the limiting belief here is, oh, I'm too old for that now. And I think the message is saying, Spirit's saying, no, you're never too old. You're never too old. It's an opportunity to go after that passion. Don't forget about that inner child. Um, they're still there. They've been there the whole time. They've just been waiting patiently. But now is the time to move forward because that stability has been achieved. So there's that interpretation here. If this message is for you, not for everyone. I also interpret this as a career-based situation in which there was perhaps some sort of boss. It could be male or female in this case, and in doing so, you know, they stepped onto the scene, and there was something that was about to kick off, and it was stopped. Again, this Empress in reverse for me in this interpretation is almost as if you had a great idea, and this idea would have maybe moved the company in the right direction, would have solved some problems, but this King of Wands interrupted it in some capacity. But he's no longer in the picture now, or I don't know, he's been subdued. He learned that Capricorn is not to be messed with. He learned that he can't be so, you know, a fire can burn you too, okay? And it's almost as if he somehow got burned. And he should have listened to you. Almost a sense of like, hey, he should have listened to Capricorn all along. That this idea really would have helped the company. He put a stop to it. He's the one here at fault, if you will. And now this idea of moving to calmer waters wants to come through. He's willing to listen. The situation has stabilized, not necessarily because he wanted to, but because he was kind of forced into a corner because he should have listened to all along. Almost some attrition here I'm sensing from this King of Wands energy. And so for so long we were sort of pushed into a corner around whatever idea that we had, that the ability to come forth, this passion, this idea, this birth that this Empress energy needs to come back. We need to just not be afraid to use our voice now, that it's okay, it's time, that we are enough. We always were enough. It was never us, it was always them. And I think that they're starting to realize that. And so as we move forward into this Three of Pentacles energy, it's becoming really clear off of that narrative that it involves other people. There's somebody else in this situation, if it's a career, that can't be done alone. And he knows this. He knows that he acted a little too brash and was shutting down your ideas. Maybe he didn't respect your wisdom. Perhaps, you know, he overlooked something from Capricorn, and that caused some disruption, and now he's longing this. He sees that there's a need for this stability that you offer, and he knows that he needs to apply resources to it. So that's what I'm getting about this current energy. Spirit, angels, and guides of our highest and best. Why is the Three of Pentacles energy here? How does this impact our Capricorns? Woo! Two flew out here. We've got this Page of Pentacles in reverse that popped out. We also have the Two of Swords. Okay. So, if we went to the first interpretation about again, some sort of familiar, a family member who needed our care, put our lives on hold, we sacrificed ourselves, and the situation has now stabilized, and now we're sort of at this crossroads here. We can't, where we are right now is this opportunity that we're in the right setting, but we know that we can't do this alone. It's almost as if this creation that wants to come through, that we were unable to do, this birth. You'll notice in this card, it's like several people building it together. They're creating their pentacles, and there's someone at the top. sort of overlooking this. So some sort of harmony, perhaps, that the timing is right. That's what I'm getting. The stability wants to come through now. We have the 4, we have the 3. This need that saying that now is the time, it's ripe. But this Page of Pentacles now here, it's in reverse. And somehow we're still holding back. And we have this choice now, okay? Behind us, this card, there's a moon, there's something that's unknown. The background, to this particular card, this is the 2 of Swords. There's something that's still unknown, but she can't see it. But the point is that there's a decision that needs to be made to move forward. And I think what Spirit is saying is that it doesn't matter which way we go. It's just a decision needs to be made. The timing is right. We no longer have to put ourselves on hold anymore. Instead, this Page of Pentacles in the reversal can represent some sort of boastful action, if you will. And I almost feel as if he's all grown up now. He knows he's no longer a kid. He you know, with just some like idea, we've been this idea, this passion has been sitting in the back burner for a long time. We've been ideating on it for a while, and now it's no longer a matter of inexperience. He knows, he's confident, he can do this, and there are other people now who are able to sort of hold the weight of this, of caring for this family member. That's what I'm sensing, and it's just a matter of, we don't know what the outcome is going to be, but we need to make a decision. And so there's also this King of Cups, the Knight of Cups in reverse. This Knight of Cups in reverse here is interesting because it's this emotional energy, this gift, this offering to make amends, but it's in reverse. So it's almost as if right now, whatever we might want to move forward with, there are other people who can hold down the fort, so to speak, by us moving forward. But in doing so, there is going to be a trade-off here. And that's why I almost feel as if there's no easy answer, but we need to make a decision. That's what I think Spirit is saying. Eclipses can be hard, but they're there to make change. They're there to push us forward. And so by us moving forward with this, you know, that seems like the right decision, but just know that there might be a little bit of a disruption, that there are other people involved, that there's some harmony here, but by us, perhaps we have to move in order to do this. And in doing so, maybe we're the primary caretaker, maybe we're an anchor in the family, and in doing so, now that other people are old enough, they're in a more financially responsible position than they were prior. It's sort of their turn almost, but in doing so, it's gonna ruffle some feathers. And that's why I see this choppy background. We don't necessarily see it. Spirit, why is the Knight of Cups, the King of Swords sideways? Why is the Knight of Cups here in reverse? We have the 9 of Wands sideways. That's a sideways energy here, which to me is not necessarily definitive. It's very, very nebulous, very Piscean, very water energy. Why is the Knight of Cups here in reverse? Moon in reverse. Okay. All right. So again, I see this, if this reading is for you, and it's a very specific message to be taken with this eclipse energy, I'm definitely sensing, this is very specific, that someone put their life on hold for some sort of family member. And in doing so, whatever plans, hopes, and dreams that we had that were incubating, that we were this birth that wanted to come, we had to hold back. And that's why it's in reverse, that calm waters, that dream. Now we're in a stable position. Now if we finally achieved that, maybe there are other people involved, perhaps brothers, sisters, younger people, another caretaker who can sort of take that obligation on. We're no longer a kid anymore. The pages again represent children of the tarot, sort of that youthful energy. We may no longer be that youthful energy, but we still have an inner child that wants to come through, that wants to explore, and you know, we're here to do that. We're being pushed to move forward. We are enough. We're never too old. But in doing so, we have that confidence, that boastful spirit. But it's going to require us to push forward and to make a decision. All the decisions do not look amazing right now. It's all in our head. We don't necessarily know what's going to come. There's a moon there. And in doing so, I think Spirit's saying that it's just a little bit of a message that it's going to disrupt some relationships. But in doing so, I think by using this energy of this King of Swords, he's sideways right now. And in the near term, we know what the right action should be. Confidently, a king or a queen of swords, they're seeking truth. They know the actions that they need to do to cut out of their life. They're seeking the honesty. So whatever that is, there's something here, especially given the fact that we have the moon in reverse. Moons can represent, especially major arcana. Something is hidden, but it's ready to be revealed to us, that we're seeking that truth. And in doing so, we're a little cautious still. There's something here that is leading to our inability. We're almost like, I want to say, not afraid of our own shadow, but this is a little bit of a defensive position, resilience almost. We've been through a war. We know we've been through some wounds here in this 18 years of Pluto being in our sign. Like, there's something there that we have to defend, right? We have these wands that we put them firmly in the ground, and whatever the decision that we need to make here, it's going to be disruptive. And I think that we have to be okay with that, and that's what eclipses are about. It's about moving past sort of stagnant energy. If we were taking this more on the interpretation of the career angle that I was gathering, also like a boss who may have had some sort of regrets, I think that it's saying here that the other people started to get involved now, and that's why your position is looking more and more favorable about why in general did he shut down that idea. You were always enough. That and I think other people are sort of building, there's a consensus building here. You have now this ability, again, I'm glad the term boastful comes to mind when I see the Page of Pentacles in reverse. He's confident, he's almost overconfident now, like it's kind of like I told you so energy. You should have trusted me all along. And so there is something here around ourselves making that choice point. Hey, do I stay or do I leave? Of this situation. Hey, like, why should I continue to stay? You should have trusted me to begin with. Now you're coming in at the 11th hour because you need some sort of savior from the situation. And I'm gathering here that with this decision, we don't know what the outcome is going to look like. And so the Spirit is saying is that, hey, whether we stay or we go, we're still good enough. There's no wrong answer here. There's no getting it wrong. And it's almost like this King of Cups, this Knight of Cups rather, in reverse, in an upright position. Oh, he has an offer here. This is harmonious situation. He's coming to you. It's in reverse. This is almost like a begrudgingly. And that's what I'm gathering, really, is that this boss who overlooked you, this brilliant idea that you knew dead to rights, that you were correct on. The situation is now stable. Okay, it's no longer like on the fence. Other people are coming around. They're seeing your idea. They see the value in what you have to offer. The I told you so vibes are definitely coming out here with this Page of Pentacles. And in doing so, it's not this, he's not coming to you, this divine masculine, this King of Wands. It's not coming to you like with this sweetheart energy. It's kind of like, oh, now I have to. So he's definitely that's why this Two of Swords is interesting, because you have a decision to make. You could stay in a place where you have allies now, you have people who see your worth, that you are seen as someone valuable, but the person who still holds some sort of degree of hierarchical power in some capacity, they've been sort of reduced in a way, but they're not happy about it. Okay, and so that's why, like, this King of Swords energy, this truth, right? The truth wants to come out around whatever as to why your idea was overlooked and overshadowed. And so you're not quite ready to let down your defenses. You're so guarded. And that's why in the current position here, I think Spirit's saying that if you stay, you're still going to have to have your guard up about you in some capacity. There's something here. The moon energy is still in reverse. There's something wants to be revealed that's not ready yet, almost. And so again, I don't know. It's seeming like this turnaround, this 180 from this individual might be short-lived. And we're in near term, we're sort of basking in this "I told you so" energy, but yet I think Spirit's saying that it's time. If it's a choice, it is definitely a choice, and they're the two choices. There's not a right or a wrong, but by staying, there's a warning almost that this person is not necessarily coming gracefully with this open-armed flowers of wanting to make amends. It's a begrudging connection. And so you're going to be left with doubts. You're going to be left with wanting to know more. You want more truth, and you're going to consistently have your guard up still. And so there's still going to be this lingering thing in the past of some sort of truth that wants to come out. And there's going to be that little thing in the back of our minds that's still going to be thinking around, hey, am I enough? Am I still good for this job? This person still doubts me. And that's where I think that Spirit is saying that you were always good enough. And I have a little one. Someone's in the background, so bear with me. But I do think that Spirit's saying that with this eclipse, there's a choice point here for you. If you are in the career, if that message came through for you, I think it's saying that if you stay, just know what you're signing up for, because there's going to be something here that it's not going to be this beautiful rainbow. There's still going to be some sort of conflict, but it's not about you. And you should always anchor on the fact that you're always enough. It was never about you. It was about them. If it's something in terms of that familial situation, I really am sensing that it is time to move on. Don't give up on the inner child, right? It doesn't matter. It's never too late to go after your passion. But by doing so, just be prepared that that people are going to see a new side of you, and it's going to ruffle some feathers near term. But I think I'm sensing it's very temporary. It's not a permanent sense of conflict. So it sounds as if there's some heavy energy here, Capricorns. Let me know in the comments if either of those two dimensions to this reading. I know that one about the family situation may be very specific, but it did come through to me. It did sense almost like a father figure, grandfather, that required, we had an obligation there. So let me know if that's you. But anyways, either way, I hope you enjoy this evening. Soak up all of this beautiful moon lunation, this energy. And with that, until next time, thank you, Capricorns.